it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the presence of the head of state at the June 27 parade concerning the 46th anniversary of our independence. Muslim pilgrims on Mount Arafah, the main stage of the Hajj 2023. Welcome to our newsroom. The head of state, Supreme head of the armed forces, presides over the military parade marking the 46th anniversary of our national day. The head of state, Supreme Commander of the Djibouti armed forces, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, presided this Tuesday morning over the military parade commemorating the 46th anniversary of our independence, which took place on the Balbala site behind the Sheikh Osman military camp, a colorful event. This military parade was no exception to its traditions of showcase the human, material, and technical resources available to our country to assert its sovereignty and fully ensure the security of goods and people through its territory. An illustrious gathering crowning the festivities of our independence, today's military parade took on the flavor of a festive and popular event where a joyful crowd gladly added its presence to that of all our public leaders, members of the government and parliament, senior civil, military, and religious dignitaries, to relay in unison our nation's mark of collective pride. The First Lady President of the National Union for Djiboutian Women, Khadra Mahmoud Haid, a leading figure on the national women's scene and at the forefront of our country's societal and humanitarian transformations, also took part in the military parade, which was also attended by representatives of sisterly and friendly countries as well as regional, continental, and international organizations. Prior to the launch of the military parade, the General reviewed with over 3,000 men and women in uniform from all our country's armed and security forces. This traditional military parade is a symbol of the country's history and unity around shared values, and traditionally takes the form of a grand military parade that brought together the various components of the Djibouti Armed Forces. The June 27 military parade is not to be missed meeting for thousands of military forces with thousands of tanks and armored vehicles, as well as the latest generations of the military equipment, such as tactical drones. Every year, the June 27 military parade is an opportunity to remember the sacrifices of the thousands of men and women who lost their lives to secure our country's independence. It is also a chance to showcase the achievements of our armed forces who never failed to carry out the missions entrusted to them with responsibility and dedication.
forces de sécurité rassemblés pour la cérémonie commmémorant le 46e anniversaire de l'indépendance nationale. Colonel Hassan Abedi, commandant de troupes, mettez-vous mon général.
The President of the Republic, Supreme Chief of the Army, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, arrived accompanied by the First Lady and President of Unity, Khadra Mahmoud Haid, at the site of the military parade of June 27. The President, upon his arrival, he was welcomed by the Prime Minister, His Excellency Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, and the Minister of Defense, Hassan Omar Mohammed, and the Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim. As soon as the national anthem had been played by the military band, the President headed off to review the troops of the armed forces and the motorized unity. In addition to the President of the Republic, the June 27 military parade was attended by members of the government, the National Assembly, representative of the international organizations, and foreign diplomatic corps accredited to Djibouti. The military parade to commemorate our 46th anniversary of independence is an opportunity to pay tribute to the resilience shown by the Djibouti Armed Forces, which face up to challenge in order to serve the nation. The head of state standing aboard a command car alongside the Armed Forces Chief of General Staff, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, reviewed the various troops in fuel regalia and the motorized unit. More than 3,000 men and women in uniform and several motorized units were on hand to take part in the military parade commemorating the 46th anniversary of our country's independence. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, reviewed the various units of the Egyptian Armed Forces, the Republican Guard, the National Gendarmerie, the Coast Guard, and the National Police, as well as Air Force and National Navy. Thousands of Egyptian spectators charged with patriotic fervor turned out to take part in this morning's military parade at the Balbala site. The June 27 military parade is not to be missed. Between Egyptians and their armies. This event honors the men and women who have committed themselves to the services of our country. Each year, it is an opportunity to showcase the rolling and flying equipment of the armed forces as well as the mobilized unit of the Egyptian Armed Forces. After the review of the troop, the President of the Republic joined the distinguished guests and hosts on the official stand for the start of the military parade. In addition to the President of the Republic, the First Lady Khadra Mahmoud Haid, President of the National Union of the countries, and the June 27 military parade was attended by members of the government, notably the Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, the President of the National Assembly, Dileita Mohammed Dileita, the Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, Hassan Omar Mohammed, and the representative of international organizations and the foreign diplomatic corps accredited to Djibouti, as well as a number of high-ranking officials from foreign forces based in Djibouti, including French forces stationed in Djibouti, American, Japanese, Italian, and Chinese troops. After the President of the Republic had taken his place on the official rostrum, the military parade on foot got underway in a particular effervescent atmosphere. Despite the heat and the scorching heat wave, the various components of the National Armed Forces paraded in an atmosphere charged with patriotic fervor. A protocol dictated the celebrations of the 46th anniversary of our independence was marked by the traditional military parade on foot, and it was the fat brass band that kicked off the military parade. It was followed by the troop of the National Gendarmerie, led by a detachment of the female personnel, followed by the Judicial and Intervention Unit of the same corps, the various Coast Guard unit dressed in their ceremonial white outfit, followed in the footsteps of their commander, Colonel Waas Omar Bogore, and paraded before the President of the Republic and an admiring crowd of admirers who did not fail to applaud them. The various units of the Djiboutian Armed Forces, the Republican Guard, the National Police Forces, the Air Force, and the National Navy marched in successions on foot. The fire department also took part in the parade, wearing fire resistance uniforms. The different corps and components of the armies proudly paraded in their uniform according to the meticulously prepared plane that had been reworked over the months leading up to June 27. During the parade, the rituals and gestures of the various armed forces were performed in harmony to the applause of the head of state, supreme commanders of the armed forces, as well as distinguished guests and thousands of Djiboutian spectators who had turned out in large number to watch the military parade.
Sous l'appellation de brigade spéciale, cette unité a depuis changé de titre. Elle passe devant nous sous l'appellation de RAID, unité de recherche, façon d'organiser les grands banditismes. Ils assurent aussi la protection rapprochée de toutes les autres personnalités du pays et des autres étrangers. La champ d'action ne se limite pas seulement à la capitale, mais
The motorized unit of the various armed forces, notably the National Army Forces and the Coast Guard, the Republican Guard, the various components of the Egyptian Armed Forces, the various vehicles, armored tanks, as well as hundreds of the latest generation military machines acquired by our National Army Forces to ensure their missions in the services of the nation, but also the various armed forces have a primordial role in maintaining peace and security in the countries of the region. This is the second time that the Bayraktar TB2 drone state-of-the-art military tools acquired by our air forces have taken part in the motorized military parade with a wing spans of 12 meters and a weight of 615 kilograms. These TB2 tactical are only half the size of the Bayraktar, making them ideal for long-distance fights. This parade was an opportunity to highlight the achievement of our armed forces in terms of human resources, as more than 3,000 men and women in uniform attended the military parade. It was also an opportunity to showcase our military forces' new hardware acquisitions and cutting-edge tools for serving our nations and maintaining the peace and defense of our country. The head of state, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, laid a wreath of flowers on the soldiers' grave in front of the Martyrs Monument at the People's Palace. On his arrival at the People's Palace, the president was welcomed by General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, member of the government, and several high-ranking members of our country's armed forces. The president went to the Martyr Monument to lay wreaths and pay tribute to our dead, our martyrs, and our heroes and anonymous people who lost their lives for the country's independence. After the laying of the wreath, some verses from the Holy Quran were recited on the Martyrs Monument. The event was an opportunity to pay tribute to the heroes who led a hard-won conquest that was the beginning of an adventure undertaken on the long road to consolidating a united, strong, and solid nation capable of leading its destiny.
قلبي بكام قبي عندي بصاصيو قلبي بكام قبي على كده بيقلي بينان وارني وحضر بلانا
ولا تحسبن الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله أمواتا بل أحياء عند ربهم يرزقون صدق الله العظيم. اللهم اغفر لشهدائنا وشهداء المسلمين، اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم واكرم نزلهم ووسع مدخلهم وغسلهم بالماء والثلج والبرد ونبهم يا ارحم الراحمين. اللهم امنا في اوطاننا واصلح ائمتنا وولاه امورنا وايد بالحق امامنا وولي امرنا ووفقه له بطانه الصالحه التي تعينه على الخير وتعينه عليه. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. فاتح.
شتاني مجوبة ما بلا يريبا سنتكونا ما باغي ما أفرتم بوحو صدح لغو بريو سبق لغو
Prime Minister Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, accompanied by the Minister of Interior Saeed Nur Hassan, the Minister of Environment Mohammed Abdul Qadir Musa Hilem, played a central role in the festivities after having participated in the celebration organized in the capital. After taking part in the festivity, the Prime Minister and his delegation flew by helicopter to Dumera in the Obok region for a special visit. On arrival, the ministerial delegation led by the Prime Minister was warmly welcomed by Colonel Ilyas Omar Yusuf, the chef corps of the regiment of Obok Inter-Armies, the sub-prefect of the Qura Angar, Muhammad Ali Umar, and the armed forces present on site, ready to celebrate this memorable day. As the solemn notes of the national anthems rang through the air and the Prime Minister, standing in front of the national flag, observed a moment of respect and pride. With an impressive military parade, the soldiers dressed in their bright uniforms marched proudly past the Prime Minister, the sound of drums and trumpet echoing in the air, adding a festive atmosphere to this special day. Prime Minister watched the parade with admiration, praising the efforts and dedications of the Djibouti Armed Forces in ensuring the country's security and defense. After the parade, the Prime Minister visited the memorial dedicated to the soldiers who lost their lives in lines of duty. With the solemnity, the Prime Minister placed flowers on the graves of the fallen soldiers, demonstrating his respect and gratitude for their supreme sacrifices. After laying the flower, the Prime Minister took part in the prayers in tribute to the fallen soldiers. The Prime Minister's presence in the memorial, surrounded by the armed forces and actively participating in the military parade, reinforced the sense of national pride and solidarity and underlined the importance of the government attaches to the country's security and defense forces. On Tuesday, June 27, 2023, Djibouti celebrates the 46th anniversary of its independence and its accession to the status of a republic. Like every year, every towns and villages across the country took part in the celebrations, which began yesterday evening. It was an evening of festivity. In Djibouti City, the Minister of Culture, the National Agency for the Promotion of Culture, organized a cultural and musical event yesterday evening in a historic Al Hurriya Square between the UNFD headquarters and Riyadh Market. Numerous Djiboutians from all walks of life gathered at 8 p.m. on the esplanade through the programs, and in front of an enthusiastic audience, the artists performed one after the others. The solemn evening featured a sound and light show with music, patriotic song echoing through the street and alleys of the surrounding neighborhoods. Several members of the Djibouti government and parliament, including Prime Minister Abdelkader Kamel Mohammed, the President of the National Assembly, Dileita Mohammed Dileita, graced the occasion with their presence. One of the highlights of the evening was the flag raisings at the same venue where the Djiboutian national anthem resounded in union. context of its presidency of the current sessions of the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, the Republic of Djibouti reiterates its attachment to its privileged relations with Sudan and consequently its commitment to the unity, territorial integrity and sovereignty of these sister countries, as well as to non-interference in its internal affairs. Djibouti also expresses its concern that the war situation in Sudan and calls on the protagonists to establish an immediate ceasefire and open talks leading to a negotiated settlement. The Republic of Djibouti, which endorses the IGAD peace proposal, welcomes the regional and international support given to this initiative. It also welcomes local, regional, and international efforts and initiatives aimed at resolving the crisis in Sudan and creating an effective mechanisms for implementing a lasting cessation of hostility, and calls for these actions to be coordinated with the IGAD initiative. The Republic of Djibouti also reaffirms its unwavering commitment to support Sudan during its IGAD presidency and to do its utmost in coordination with the organization's member state to put an end to this war, which has claimed a heavy toll of victims in Sudan and condemned thousands of the other nationals of these sister countries to painful displacement under difficult humanitarian conditions. The sacrifices of the feast of is an Islamic ritual strongly recommended by the religions of Islam to every Muslim who has the means to carry it out. The aim of this rite is to share with the nearby households and those in need. In this respect, the Central Livestock Market in Balbala over the past few days has witnessed a large influx of citizens from various parts of the capital to buy the sacrifices of Eid al-Adha. An RTD team visited this market to take a closer look at the prices of these animals, which are crowded together in other parts of the capital. It should also be remembered that sacrifices is one of the important religious rituals and is of great importance from a human point of view. God Almighty has ordered Muslims to sacrifice and offer it on the days of Eid al-Adha in order to reinforce the spirit of sacrifices and social solidarity, where the poor and needy receive part of it and the rest is distributed among families and loved ones. Concerning sport, the double victory for our EOJ scholarship holders, Samia Hassan Yusuf has just won gold in the 10,000 meters and Mumin Bourgele bronze medals at the second and Hamamit 2023 Beach Games on this June 27, our beloved Republic's Independence Day. We dedicate these medals to our President and to all the Djiboutian people. Thank Your Excellency for your constant support and your confidence. Well done to our two young athletes and good luck in qualifying for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. For the international scene, today pilgrims stand at Arafat level, which represent the greatest pillars of Hajj completion. Indeed, a crowd of pilgrims have begun to flock to the Arafat level since the sun rose. Today, the 9th Tuesday of Dhul Hijjah, where they will stay until sunset, praying and dua. Afterwards, the Ar-Rahman's guests are due to travel to Muzdalifah, where they will spend the night, then return to Mina on the mornings of the 10th day, the day of sacrifices, which is also the first day of Eid al-Adha. Pilgrims will continue to perform their Hajj ritual, in particular throwing the Aqaba ember and sacrificing, then shaving or shortening and heading to Mecca to perform the Tawaf al-Ifada. Like their counterparts from all over the world, so the 1,400 Djibouti pilgrims are performing this religious duty, the fifth pillar of Islam. For its part, the Saudi Ministry of Hajj expected the number of the pilgrims this year to reach around 2,300,000, coming from over 160 countries. The High Islamic Council announces that Eid al-Adha prayers for the year 2023 will take place tomorrow morning at 6:25. All imams in the places designated to perform the Eid prayers in the capital and inland regions must therefore respect these timetables. On this special occasion, the Council extends its best wishes for happiness, health, and success to His Excellency the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, to the Egyptian people, and to the entire Islamic Ummah. Eid Mubarak for all. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.